take a million because I wasn't recording for 25 minutes. But howdy, Tamers. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for the love on the Waru Seizuremon Infinite Combo deck that I posted a few days ago. But this is going to be a new thing we're doing every Monday called Anti-Meta Mondays. This is twofold, actually. One, I host my own anti-meta tournaments on my Discord every other Monday. I actually have my own like custom ban and limited list. I'll post a video explaining like what my format looks like, and you guys can more than welcome to steal it and use it for you guys as friend groups and locals. But I want to make some deck lists for that, but also I want to show off some underused and underutilized cards. Sometimes people got pet favorites and from the series or from the card game themselves that just don't see the light of day. One of mine and my buddy Hunter's favorites, it's actually maybe Plutomon. So we're going to break down what Plutomon does, and then we'll kind of go into some of the decks that we're going to be using, utilizing it in. So Plutomon is from BT4. He is a 13 play cost, 12k. Level 6, Digivolves for 4 until level 5, and has a really interesting when Digivolving of draw 2. Then you may use a purple option card with a memory cost 6 or less from your hand without paying the memory cost. So this is kind of in the same Venn diagram, in my opinion, as like a Lilithmon or like a Bielstarmon, where it's a purple level 6 that utilizes some option screw, playing it for free, playing it for reduced cost, but then also getting some card advantage with that draw 2. It sadly is in a weird spot where it doesn't have like any big support. So there's not like, oh, hey, look, here's this Plutomon deck with a Plutomon egg and a Plutomon level 3. It's what decks can we fit Plutomon in? Kind of having to be kind of slid into some already pre-existing decks. I did try to my best to make a deck that I feel is just centered just around him, but I'll kind of get into that later. But we're gonna go over a few decks where I feel like he kind of like sneaks in there and makes it pretty awesome. So I'm actually a huge Lilith fan, Lilith mommy, as people want to call her, or whatever. I didn't play the game at the beginning, so I didn't really get to play with Lilith like at her peak power level. So I always like this is my Lilith loot deck right here. I just like playing her because it's fun to be able to play with like what used to be like one of the most busted cards in the game, and sadly she kind of fell off a little bit. But in this deck, there are 2 slots for 2 level 6s that can be kind of flex. When I first built the deck, there actually were creepy mons, just because it kind of punished your opponent for building a wide board and gave you the DP increase. Then it has evolved into ghoul mons, just because that thing hits like a truck and mills a ton. I've killed people with ghoul mons more than looping a Shine Greymon in this deck ever, at least as of recently. Plutomon kind of still fits in what the deck wants to be doing, which is getting card advantage and then using these option cards to set up and facilitate a loop of Shine Greymon. So I think he was a perfect 2 of kind of slide into this deck and see how he could be played in the current metagame. You're probably noticing from that cut that I did forget about something, which is to add the eggs in this deck. We're gonna go over everything really pretty quickly and kind of explain everything why if we need to. So we're running 4 of this Geeky egg. The biggest thing and reason why we're doing this is because it's purple. We only run so little of our level 3s, level 4s, and level 5s that making sure that we have the purple color requirement for the rest of our options in our deck is very, very important. I wanted to run this with the red Geeky that draws you when you're attacking. And when you would always get a rookie, it felt really good because you're getting so much card advantage with it. But realistically, it just doesn't happen as much as you would like it to. And there are some games where I still won, but I had to only have an egg out for like a turn or 2. Maybe hard play a level 4 and then pass a turn. So not the worst thing in the world. I wish there was a better purple Geeky egg. Maybe, down the line we get one. But that's one we're running of as a 4 of. Going on to our rookies, we're only running 8. We're running 2 of the EX4 Guilmon. Does have a really cool on play. If the total number of cards in both players' trash are at least 20, it does gain Rush on play. There are 2 reasons why this card is very, very good when it comes to Digivolving. It can go on to Geeky for 0. It also can Digivolve for 1 into any purple level 2. So for people that don't know, you can choose. You can choose to Digivolve for 0 or pay the 1. What usually you want to be doing in this deck is establishing some free Digivolve in the back, if you can, and then setting up one of the option cards that helps us fuel our engine. So if it's not a Mismemory boost or a Purple Mem boost or a Wisdom Training, any of the 3. If you don't have any of that set up, Digivolving this for 1 and passing your opponent with 1 is not bad. I mean, you'd rather do that than hope you draw something off the Digivolve for 0 and then be in this weird situation where you have to pass your opponent to 3 now instead of keeping them at 1 for their first turn. So just keep that in mind. And I'll kind of remind you when we get to the last level 3 that we run. We're also running 2 of the BT5 Guilmon. Same thing, 3 play cost 2k. Digivolves for 0 into any purple. It doesn't have the cute Geegimon stuff because it's an old card. but has a really interesting on delete if this Digimon was deleted by an effect, you gain a memory. There are multiple ways that we gain memory off that, and I'll mention them whenever we get to them, but just keep that in the back of your head. The best Rookie we're running a 4 of it is a EX3 Guilmon. Plays for 4, it's a 3K instead. Digivolves for 2 onto any purple, or 0 onto Gigi. A really interesting on delete of delete one of your opponent's Digimon to 3k DP or less. If no Digimon were deleted by this effect, both players trash the top 2 cards of their deck. So this is at worst going to hit something that your opponent has, like a Rookie. I mean, I don't think there's any level 4s that are 3k or less, but mostly just going to hit a Rookie. Sometimes that's a Floodgate Rookie that helps our deck, go off by deleting. And if nothing is, then cool, you get to mill 2 from both players' decks, which we don't care about that. We want our stuff in trash. That's a secondary hand for us in this deck, right? So, very useful. Next is our level 4s. We're only running 6. We're running 4 of the best level 4, which is Black Growl from EX4. 5 play cost 5k. Digivolves for 3 for a level 3 that's purple or red, or 2 onto anything with Guilmon in its name. When Digivolving is trash 2 cards from the top of both players' decks, then you return 1 Guilmon or 1 card with Growlmon or Gallantmon in its name from the trash to hand. Has a basically the same thing, but on delete is you may return 1 Guilmon or Growl or Gallant from your in name from trash to hand. So this card is going to get you something from the line when you Digivolve and something from the line when it dies. This is the best one because we run so little of our numbers when it comes to our level 3, level 4, level 5s. This helps the deck just function normally. This makes so the deck operates. One, we're milling our opponent, and we're milling us, and we're getting something back all the time. And then, hey, look, we Digivolve to a level 5, which we hopefully get, either off the draws or by the trash and grab off this. Then cool, you have that sick on delete that now your opponent has to worry about because you can just go right into another line. The less good level 4 that we're still running 2 of it, is the EX3 Growlmon. Plays for 5k, Digivolves for 3 into a purple level 3, or again 2 onto a Guilmon. When Digivolving, same thing as the other Guilmon running 4 of. Delete one of your opponent's 3Ks or less. If nothing gets deleted, both players trash 2. The inheritable comes in a good bit. Even though we're only running 2, it's not the one we want to see all the time, but it is still very, very important. When attacking once per turn, you may delete one of your other Digimon to have this Digimon gain security attack +1 for the turn. But remember I told you to remember that purple Guilmon, the gain of memory? Boom, that's like the best thing to throw under the bus. Hey, maybe you swing with it, maybe you don't, maybe you crash into their 1k with your 2k. The inheritable of this is not something to be ignored. Level 5's really short list. We're only running 4, and that is the EX3 War Growlmon. As much as I looked into this deck and play tested with running the other War Growlmon that could be in this deck, nothing feels as good as this one. And honestly, it feels like it clunks up the deck more than anything. Because again, I just mentioned the Black Growlmon and all the options we're running. You can consistently get to the stuff and the pieces that you need decently well. I really don't hardly ever brick on this deck as much people might think you do, just because the options help you out a tremendous amount. But it is an 8 play cost 8k, Digivolves for 4 onto a purple level 4, or 3 onto anything with containing Growlmon in its name that's level 4. When Digivolving, both players trash the top 3 cards of their decks. Then, if a player has 5 or more cards in their trash, you may play 1 Guilmon or Decado from hand or trash without paying its memory cost. This is so sick because literally you're setting up to then have these Guilmons out to either delete off of the 2 of Growlmon to get security cost +1, or for the millions of effects I'm going to talk about later where we need to delete something to get some sort of benefit that we'll get a double of because we're deleting one of these Guilmons. As well as, hey, sometimes you're just playing to get the Rush Guilmon that we run 2 of, Level 6s, we're running 6. We're running a 1 of Avenged Kidmon. This is your oh crap button. This is the, I milled out too much, too aggressively. I drew too many cards, and I'm about to deck myself out. I need to recycle. This card plays for 12. It's 11k. Digivolves for 3 into a red level 5. I hope you're never in the scenario where you have to do that, because if you're doing that, you are in a terrible, terrible place. When playing this card from your hand, you reduce the memory cost by 1 for every option card in both you and your opponent's trash. Then on play, return all cards with 3 Musketeer in their trait and all option cards from both players' trash to the bottom of their owner's decks. If 7 or more cards were returned by using this effect, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3 Musketeers in its traits or 8k DP or less. The cool thing with this is, 1, we get to not die if we are milling out our deck too much, so we get to put all those options in our trash onto the bottom. But also, the 8k DP delete is not bad at all. Like, that kills almost a lot of the level 5s that are relevant, right? An interesting thing with this, ruling-wise, is you, as the player playing Avenged Kidmon, you decide how your opponent's options go on the bottom. So I remember I played this as a 1 of in SetCon. I was playing as a BL star with the new Guru stuff. I didn't want Nailbone. Nailbone's like the bane of my existence. So when I had, a stack of like 10 option cards, I just put Nailbone at the bottom, put it on the bottom of their deck because that was the one I didn't want to see the most. And when you are stacking your deck, you can stack it to be however you want to. If there's certain options you feel like you need quicker, put them to the top. That's all you got to do. We're running 3 Lilithmon. It is the namesake of the Lilith deck. It is a 12 play cost, 11k. Digivolves for 3 into a purple level 5. When digivolving, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, return up to 2 purple option cards from your trash to hand. And your turn, once per turn, when you use an option card, gain 2 memory. So the biggest thing is just always make sure you have 10 before you digivolve. If not, you're just doing it to draw a card and get an 11k body on the board. The your turn effect of using an option card, sometimes people get confused like when that triggers, how you'd resolve it. So let's say I'm going to play Miss Memory Boost for 3. So I'll pay 3, do the main effect, mill 2, draw a card, then delay it, put it on my battlefield. All the things have been activated and resolved. Now I have used the option. Now Lilith will gain me 2. So just make sure I always resolve the option card, then Lilith will gain you 2. And obviously, because we're trying to make it work, we're running a 2 of Plutomon. I kind of went over his stuff, but again, just draw 2, use an option, 6 play cost or less, or 6 cost or less. You don't play option cards, you use them. And our level 7 surround at the Digimon are 2 Shine Greymon Ruin modes. This is the namesake of Shine Loop or Millith Loop. This is the thing we're looping. We're going to be getting this thing out over and over and over again. It is a 14 play cost, 15k DP. It digivolves for 5 onto a purple or yellow level 6. Digivolves for 4 onto a Shine Greymon. That's never going to come up in this deck. Has the same when digivolving and on delete of until the end of your opponent's next turn. All, that's a very key word, of your opponent's Digimon get neg 5k DP. This is what we like to call in the biz is a blanket effect. So that means anything that's on the battlefield will become in the battlefield. Push from raising, played from hand, digivolve, doesn't matter. It affects everything. So don't think that your opponent could just play something different and like, well, this wasn't out on the field when it triggered. It's like, that's fantastic. It says all of your Digimon, so it'll cover anything on their turn. The end of attack, deleting this Digimon, you're deleting one of your opponent's Digimon, you're recovering 1. Then if you have a Tamer in play, which we run 1, just not the biggest deal in the world, you get to hatch a Digi-Egg into an empty spot in your breeding area. This card is a powerhouse because of how you can play it, right? So the first thing you think is, wow, the Digivolves for 5, that's a lot. This deck can easily get to 5+ memory on their turn and when you Lilith and you Jack Raid and get all this memory back. So most of the time, if you don't have that set up, you can at least do this pretty early to have a neg 5k DP for your opponent's board to slow them down so that you can build up your board and your combo more, right? If you've got enough memory, you digivolve and it's still your turn, you can attack and force the on delete to trigger so your opponent has neg 10k DP for their entire next turn. That's a lot. All right. Oh, something that a lot of people get kind of screwy up in their heads with when it comes to this, like the blanket effect of the neg 5k DP. The best example is like, for example, let's say that I'm the opponent. I'm playing Greymon, right? I've got an Agumon X Antibody on play, reveal the top 3, grab stuff. It won't activate. Or it will trigger, but nothing will resolve. Digimon cards need to be on the field to see their effect resolve fully for it to happen. So your Agu plays, and it's dead before anything finishes resolving. So you're not going to get that on play. So make sure if you're playing Shine Greymon Ruin mode, you're making sure that no one's getting on plays if that thing immediately dies. Tamers, we're only running 1. We don't really need it, but it's very, very good when we do. It's Alice McCoy, 2 play cost. Your turn, once per turn, when one of your Digimon would digivolve into from level 5 to level 6, you may delete one of your Digimon to reduce the devolution cost by 3. Security is just to play the card for free. This card is great because your level 5 literally plays out a Guilmon for free. So you're setting up to do this if you have Alice out, right? So like your turn 1 setup is Guilmon for 0, set up a boost or set up an Alice. You did it, right? And then we've got stuff to get Alice back, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I mean, we only need a 1 of, if I'm being completely honest with you. Makes a Lilith digivolve for 0. Makes Pluto digivolve for 1 at worst. But if we have the purple Guilmon, we gain 1 memory because we're deleting it by the effect. So then Pluto costs 0 at the end of the day. Or Lilith cost actually gains us 1 if we digivolve into it, if we have the purple Guilmon out. So it's just awesome how that works. All right, so now for the bigger chunk of the deck, which is going to be option cards. We're running a 4 of Jack Raid from BT4. 0 cost option. Main, gain 1 memory for every 10 cards in your trash. Security effect is to just gain 2 memory. Do not forget that this thing, security effect, triggers a lot in games, and it is so good when it does. No one ever thinks about it. People are always thinking about, like, oh, he can delete something with Rival's Barrage. He can delete something for Deathslinger. He can get all of his boosts out. People forget about Jack Raid's security effect because most of the time you're just playing it from hand, but if it's in security, it's not bad. I've had so many times where I'm like, cool, Jack Raid, I'm at 2, and then their turn is just over. Their whole setup is gone, and then I ruin it, literally, with ruin mode, right? Now, something I always tell people with this card is always make sure that you've got 10 in trash before you use it. If you have 9 in trash and you are playing this card, you are using this card from your hand, it will not gain you 1 memory. It's not going to be the 10th card. You've got to have 10. It plays. It tries to do the effect. If there's not 10 in there, you're not gaining anything. It's the same thing if you have 19. This isn't your 20th. So just make sure to keep that in mind. 2 of Glaive memory boost from BT6. This option's pretty sick, and I'm really kind of surprised that not more people run it. I guess it is, like, there are better purple things to get cards back from trash, but it is decent. 3 cost option. Main, return 1 purple Digimon card from your trash to hand. Then place this card in your battle area, and then delays to gain you 2 memory, like a lot of the 3-drop boosts do. But realistically, this card just gives us one of our combo pieces back, or gets any of the line back that we don't have, and then sets up for us to Digivolve into it next turn, right? Look, we're running purple. We're running the 1 of Calling from Darkness. 1 cost option. Main, delete 1 of your Digimon. Return up to 2 purple Digimon from your trash to hand. And then security is just you add the card to hand, right? A thing that probably everyone knows, but just to make sure in case you didn't, you do not have to delete a Digimon if you don't have one out. There's nothing in the battle area. Let's say you have something in Raisin and nothing in battle area. Pay 1, you get 2 things back, right? Now, if you have a Digimon, you have to delete it, right? It's just because the wording says delete 1 of your Digimon, then return. It's not by deleting 1 of your Digimon, then return. It's 2 separate effects. You just do as much as you can with the card, right? We're running 3 Miss Memory boosts from BT8. 3 cost option, trash the top 2 of your deck, then draw 1. Then delay it, then sack it to gain 2 later. Security is just to play it in your battle area. This card fills our graveyard, which we love. It's our second hand, and also just fills our first hand by drawing us a card. All upside. A 3 of Deathslinger, 4 cost option. When this card is trash from your deck, you gain a memory. And then main, delete 1 of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. For every 10 cards in trash, add 1 to the maximum level of Digimon you can choose with this effect. This card has killed level 7s. I have used this card and killed level 7s before. It is not hard to get to. When you just use it with nothing in trash, it kills level 4 already. Then you got 10, kills a 5. You got 20, kills a 6. And you got 30, which definitely happens in this deck before you kill a 7. Card is very, very good. It's only a 3 of because we don't need the memory that much, but also it's good because it's a sick, cheap, early removal spell if we need it. Also running 3 purple Mem boosts, 3 cost option, main, reveal the top 4 of your deck, add 1 purple Digimon from among them to your hand, place the rest on the bottom in any order, and then place this card in your battle area, and to delay, sack it, gain 2 memory. Security is just put it in the battle area. This is just great because we get to look for any of our pieces. The only thing that whiffs on Digimon-wise of Kidmon, and we don't, realistically, we don't really care. I have been in points where I whiff with this because, again, we are running so little Digimon that, later in the game, this sometimes just whiffs, but it's fine because you're just investing that memory for next turn. 3 Wisdom Training. The trainings are super good, super low cost for what they give you. A 2 cost option, main, reveal the top 2 of your deck, add 1 purple card from among them in your hand, the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order, then place this card in your battle area. Delay, 1 of your Digimon may Digivolve into a purple Digimon in your hand for its devolution cost. When it would Digivolve by this effect, you reduce 2, and the security is just place the card in the battle area. Biggest thing with the delay is you are activating this thing to Digivolve into it. So anything that would reduce the cost outside of it can still do that, but not if that effect itself is making it Digivolve. This thing is, I'm stacking this, I'm going to Digivolve this thing right now. That's what you're doing. Biggest thing is just looks at the top 2 cards and it grabs a card that is purple, not Digimon, not Tamer, not Option. Any of our pieces that are purple, we grab. Again, the only thing that whiffs is a Kidmon, and if it happens, then look, you just grab the other card, guys. 3 of Rival's Barrage. Yes, I understand it's not 6 cost, so Pluto can't play it for free. But it is a 7 cost option. When this card is trashed from your deck, you may place in your battle area. So that is how the delay effect is started. Main, this means you're just doing it from hand. You delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level. Then main delay, if this card was milled and is now in your battle area, you get to return 1 purple Digimon or Tamer from your trash to hand. Security is delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level. So it basically does the same thing as the main effect from your hand. I remember a lot of people when this card got announced and was even out, a lot of people were confused about it. You don't get to kill something, then delay it. The only way this thing gets delayed is if you trash it from the top of your deck and then you choose to put it in. Now, also keep in mind that it is a may. When this card is trashed from your deck, you may place it in your battle area. There's been some times with Jack Raids that's my 10th card, and I need it to combo off and go into a Shine Greymon that turn, so I don't delay it. I keep it in trash. You may delay it. Just make sure to keep that in mind, because if you don't, that thing's staying there for at least a turn until you get to your next turn where you can sack it. And at that point, it's just going to swap for a different card, so you're not really gaining a card in trash. You're just changing them out. So keep that in mind. We are running a 1 Lament of Friendship. I'm going to blame the guy who got second at Nats this year because this card seems really, really good. I'll explain why, because on paper it looks basic and it has a lot to it. 3 cost option. While you have a Matt Ishida in its name in play, you can use it without being its color requirements. Again, if we only have Avenged Kidmon out, then we're kind of screwed, but I think we should be fine. Main, return 1 Digimon card from trash to hand. Then one of your Digimon with Guru in its name gains on delete play without paying the memory cost until the end of your opponent's turn. Security is just you activate the card's main effect. This card's great, and it's not worst call. It is return 1 Digimon card. No level requirement, no play cost requirement, no color requirement. This gets our Avenged Kidmon back. This is how you can loop your deck over and over again. By going Avenged Kidmon, put all options on the bottom, Avenged Kidmon dies by natural causes or because you want to, you Alice and sacrifice it, then you play Lament, you get Avenged Kidmon back in, you play Avenged Kidmon, Lament goes on the bottom of your deck, and you can just recycle your deck over and over again. We run a crap ton of options, so most decks that we could go grinding in, we don't deck out before they do, because we're running this combo, right? As well as just, it's good to not have an Avenged Kidmon just be useless and trash forever, right? Because Lilith can grab this Lament of Friendship. So like there's not like a, oh, Lament and Avenged Kidmon are in trash. Gosh darn, I can't do anything about it. We have a level 6 grabs it. It's fine. We just get it. Or Plutomon plays it for free, which is really good. But yeah, if you guys wanted just to run Pluto in the current metagame, this is definitely an easy way just to do that with an already established deck type. But we're going to go into another deck that I feel is more based just around Pluto more than just kind of including him, so we'll go into that. So this is more of a deck that's built around Pluto rather than just kind of sliding him in it more. This is a control deck in a more of a matter of speaking. It does go wide, but it's doing that while you're also controlling the board. So let's go through the deck list really quick. We're running the 4 of Xiaomon from EX5. The biggest reason and the only reason is because of the your turn once per turn. When an effect plays Digimon by one of your Digimon, you just draw a card. We're running a 2 of each of the purple floodgates. So that's going to be Gazimon to make sure that opponents can only gain stuff through Tamer effects. And then Psychemon of players, so both you and your opponent cannot reduce play costs. All other things just say without paying cost, would not reduce the cost by X to do thing. And then the best rookie that we want to Digivolve into in the back is going to be Gabumon from Star Deck 16. Digivolves for 0 into our egg, which is awesome. Start of main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon, you get a memory. As well as the Inheritable, super good. So good that it actually have limited Gabu that does the same thing because it's not once per turn. It does say when attacking once per turn, draw 1, trash 1. Super, super good. Really great to see our pieces. Great to see the option cards in our hands, so we make sure that we get into Pluto as quickly as possible. Our level 4s are a few 2-ofs just because we want them for different reasons, right? We're running 2 of the promo Raremon from EX5. Plays for 4, 4K. Can Digivolve for 3. It is treated as having Cyborg in its trait, which doesn't ever come up in our deck, but is very good for Machinermon. On play when Digivolving, by trashing 1 card in your hand, draw 2. Is by trashing, do the thing. So make sure you always have at least a card you're willing to get rid of because you're going to have to do it to draw 2. Has the when attacking Inheritable, by trashing 1 card in your hand, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. So having the ability to go through our deck quicker, find the pieces that we need with the fluctuating numbers that we're running, as well as, hey, if we need and are probably going to Digivolve into this, hey, we get to delete level 3s. That's their floodgates that we're blowing up. Some cheap blockers. It's not a bad Inheritable. We are running 2 of the BT6 Ogremon. On play, you may trash 1 card in your hand to delete 1 of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. So again, we're playing this on our opponent's turn, maybe with some Flame Hell Scythe shenanigans and security, but also level 5 play cost to just do this on our turn. pass our opponent to maybe 2, maybe 3 at most if they already have a resetter, to just delete something and get something in our trash to kind of fuel that up if we need it is not bad. Another 2 of is going to be Black Gato Uver. Plays for 5 security. At the end of battle, play this card without paying its cost, and then on play, by returning 1 Digimon from your opponent's trash to the bottom of their deck, you draw 1 card. This is so good in the current meta because of Finraluga, because of Anubis, because of Bielstar, because of Setcon. They need certain things and want certain things in trash. So if they only have 1 copy of these certain cards, like, you get to just ruin that strategy, put it as far down in the bottom of their deck so that it's so hard for them to get to it, and then you get to draw a card from it. As well as, hey, guess what? This Mon does something to security. After battle, you get to play it for free. So now we've set up a free level 4 so we can try to go into Plutomon easier and cheaper. 2 Black Gato from BT8. It is just a 5 play cost 6k that has Rush. The Inheritable gives it Retaliate, which is not something to scoff at. That is actually super, super relevant for us to do. It's also helping us get our yellow color requirement for this deck, which does come in a good bit. Also kind of helping us with the yellow color requirement is the 2 of Magda Angemon. We are never going to digivolve this card because, 1, we need to recover because this is like a little bit of a control deck and we need that on play to recover 1. But also, we don't have anything that digivolves on top of a yellow level 5. So this is just here as a 2 of to get some Flame Hell Scythe love and also to have our yellow color requirement. Running 4 of the Lady Devi from BT3. When digivolving, trigger, draw 2, and then you trash 2 from hand. So you're going to be able to selectively pick what you kind of need or want. Then the Inheritable is your turn once per turn. When you use an option card, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon, which we're going to be doing a lot with Plutomon, so good to be able to blow some stuff up. And to finish off the level 5s, we're running Waru Seedramon from BT11. Not as good as the other one that has an infinite combo with it, but it does have the on-play when digivolving. You may play 1 purple or blue level 3 Digimon from any one of your purple or blue Digimon sources without paying the cost. So this helps us just set up into another stack or pull one of our floodgates out from our big stack so that we have the floodgate as well as our level 6 or level 5. Also has the all turns Inheritable once per turn when you play Digimon by effect, gain a memory. So just making sure that we're getting as much value out of our option cards playing stuff for free and keeping it our turn by with the memory gain. And then the only level 6 we're running is just a 4 of Plutomon. Like we said, draw 2, you play a 6 cost option for free from hand, so really nothing bad about that. We're running 2 Matt Ishida, the resetter from BT2, just because we do want some reset. The on play is super good of returning 1 purple card that is a Digimon or option from our trash to hand. So we're running a like 1 or 2 of certain option cards, so having those more frequently is definitely advantageous. Which option cards, we're starting off strong with 4 Chaos deck. Like I said, it's a controller deck. We do want these in our security bombs. If we don't have a security, playing from hand is an option. We do run 4 things to get that yellow source out, and we do have ways of getting those things back into our hands if we need to. We're also running a 2 of Night Raid. Main, play 1 purple level 3 from your trash without paying the cost, and then negate any on plays. This is just either to set up one of our floodgates as we're passing the turn to our opponent, or to set up a Gabu for next turn, so we just have the extra memory gain from him. 1 of Revive from Darkness. This is a 4 cost option. Main, delete one of your purple Digimon. Then you may play 1 level 5 or lower purple Digimon from your trash without paying its memory cost, and then negate any of his on plays. And the security is just to add the card to hand. This is just to get out either a level 5 if we can go into a Pluto next turn, or to establish any of the good level 4s that we have. If it's Black Gato, hey, look, to have the yellow requirement for next turn, or hey, if we're just going to play this on our turn, to have Rush. The other 2 have on plays that would be negated with this effect, but just establishing anything for free off of that is not bad. Again, purple deck, we're running 1 Call from Darkness. We're running 4 Wisdom Training. We are going to be digivolving in this deck, and we do run a weird numbers of 2 ofs, so we do want to decently see everything every game, so running this at 4 was kind of a necessity. We're running 2 Lament of Friendship. This is to get our Magnas back to our hand if we need them, to get our Black Gatos back to hand if we need the color requirement. We're running 4 Flame Hell Scythe. One of your opponent's Digimon gets next 6k for the turn. Then you play 1 purple or yellow Digimon with 6k DP or less from your trash without paying the cost. And that's a lot. That is both our Floodgates, that is our Gabumon, that is our Raremon, that's our Ogremon, that's our Black Gato Uver, that's our Black Gato with Rush, that's our Magdamon. That is a lot of the Digimons in the deck. as well as this sets up and does not negate any of their on plays. So, hey, guess what? We need to kill something at level 4 or lower. Boom, you play Ogremon. Hey, we got to get something out of their trash. Boom, you play Blackouts or Uver. Card's very, very good. And the reason why I wanted to run it, because it is a 6 play cost. You get to play it for free with Pluto. So that is more of a deck built around Pluto. This deck, I feel like this is a good start. I feel like I really got to tune it just a little bit more, but I wanted to build a deck that was more for Pluto than just Pluto being placed in something. So this is more of the idea I had for this. And then now we'll go to the anti-meta version of Pluto. So if you're looking at this, you're not seeing too awful much changes from our Lilith version. There are a few things. For example, Shine Greymon is banned in anti-meta. So I just changed a few things around, and realistically all that it was is that I took both of the Shine Greymon rune modes out. I put in a 1-of Dracmon from Star Deck 6 because it has the on-play of returning 1 purple option with a memory cost of 1 to 7 from the trash to your hand. So it will get us back our Lament of Friendships, it'll get us back our removal spells, our boost that we need. So it's not terrible. As well as that we've knocked Rivals Barrage up to a 4-of just to make sure we can guarantee get our pieces back. But hey guys, that is Plutomon. Thank you so much for stopping by for the first Anti-Meta Monday. And now it is on to you. Please, in the comments, leave any Digimon that you want a deck to be built around. I'm going to try to keep to this style where I'm going to show you an anti-meta deck, the card just being played in a deck already in the current meta if I can, and if I can just try to build a deck just solely around the card like that second to last version of Pluto was. But please hit the like and subscribe button if you guys like the content you're seeing. We're going to be doing this every Monday, so leave suggestions and come stop by the stream. It's at Twitch at SlowBroAmigo, and that'll be in the description. But just appreciate you guys, and Tamers, have a great rest of your week.